Do you find yourself making mistakes around one person in particular a lot? Do you feel like people are out to get you? Today we're going to be talking about inner vision. Hi there, and welcome to the Booksters Club, where we find daily inspiration from the books you love. Today we're going to be talking about inner vision, and today's featured book is The Voice of Knowledge by Don Miguel Ruiz with Janet Mills. And today's inspirational thought comes to us on page number 64 and 65. It says, "Once I discovered that people are created and living in their own story, how could I judge them any longer? How can I take anything personally when I know that I am only a secondary character in their story? I know that when they talk to me, they are really talking to the secondary character in their story. And whatever people say about me is just a projection of their image of me. It has nothing to do with me. I don't waste my time taking anything personally. I focus my attention on creating my own story." Inner vision is the opposite of assumptions. Inner vision has to do with what you think of yourself and who you know you are at your core, and that conviction of who you are at your core, that unwavering part of yourself. That is your inner vision. Assumptions is not just what other people think. Assumptions is what you think other people are thinking. So it's not even what you think other people are doing or what other people have told you that they are thinking. It's just all fiction at this point. It's what you think other people are thinking. So that is what really an assumption is. And I think it's okay to care about what other people think. I've heard people who have gone so far as to say, don't care about what other people think. That can get you in a lot of trouble. I think it's important to know which people you care about what they think of you. So the people that you love and trust, if they come to you and they tell you, I think you have a problem, or I've noticed that you kind of blew up in there, or whatever the situation is, if you value that person and you know that they're coming to you from love, you should take heed. If the messenger be an ant, right? Take heed at what they're saying, and I think you should care about the people that you love, what they think of you. But just people in general, yes, you should not care so much about what they think, but you can still care about what the people who you love think about you. I think that's important, that we have that near field, that circle of people that we trust to kind of help us, just in case we go crazy or we get out of whack. Also, each person is going to have their own vision of not only themselves, but of you. So in this book with Don Miguel Ruiz, he was talking about being a secondary character in other people's stories. I think that that's a great thing that we should just admit to ourselves, that we're not the primary character in everybody's story. We are the primary character in our own story, and we're just secondary in everybody else's story. So if you feel that people are out to get you, and you feel that people don't have your best interest at heart, you may be making assumptions that whatever little tiny thing that is being done, it's done purposefully just to hurt you, when really they're not even thinking about you. I mean, you're not even on their radar, and you're taking this thing that they have done, and you're coming up with this whole thing in your mind about it just being purposefully just to hurt me. That is you thinking you are just this grandiose character in their play, and they're probably not even thinking of you. And then the other thing I find interesting is if you are making mistakes around a specific person a lot. If you find that you get around a particular person and something always happens, maybe you're always messing up, or you find these weird circumstances where you're like, man, this stuff usually doesn't happen to me, and now it is. That is interesting. That is, and I try not to give too much power to that. However, I would like to take heed to what Don Miguel Ruiz is saying here. That could be somebody else's vision of you that you bought into. And that is where your power lies. Did you buy into it? So if you have a person that has this narrative, whether they verbalize it or not, we pick up on energy. So if somebody has this narrative about you energetically or verbally that you are a mess up, let's just say that, or you can never do anything right. What's going to happen when you get around that person's energy field? You're not going to be able to do anything right because you bought into their narrative. It's important that you recognize other people have a narrative about you, and even though you're just a secondary character in their story, they have a character built up in your story. And so it's important that either you recognize that what they believe about you is false, and that's where that inner vision really comes through and says, I don't buy what you think of me, or you cut that person out of your life if you're not strong enough to do that, because that is not good for you. If you had a different take on this part of the book, if you had a different book or a different part in the book, a different book entirely that you think should be featured here on the Booksters Club, please let me know in the comments. Thank you so much for clicking the like button if you liked it, and subscribe if you're new, because I post new videos every single day. See you tomorrow, Booksters.